Good morning. So we're going to work on the notes for 3.2. So we're working with parallel lines, and we want to make the lines parallel. So this is part 1 of 3.2. So I'm just going to put more part 1. Okay. And so how do we make the lines parallel? So we just want to make sure that when we do this, that we're showing that the lines are parallel to each other. Okay, I'm first going to start though with a proof. So I want to make sure that we go over because we do use this is a proof for alternate interior angles. So we're given that angle that R is congruent to S, and we need to prove that the alternate interior angles are congruent. So we're going to prove that angle 3 is congruent to angle 6. I'll do my diagram over here. Just for space. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. And they give us that line R is congruent to line S. Yes, that's my cursive S. Okay. So we need to prove it. So if we're going to do a 2-column proof, so we're going to have our statements and our reasons. And you can just do a S if you want to for statements, and then R for reasons. Okay. We always start with our given, so angle line R is congruent to S, and that's our given. Okay. Since we know that they are congruent, that means that our corresponding angles, so angle 2 and 6 are congruent. So angle 2 is congruent to angle 6, and that's by our corresponding angle theorem. Okay. And we also know that angle, so because we're looking for everybody, remember, so our main are 3 and 6, right? So these are main ones we're looking for. What we know is that angle 3 and angle 2 are congruent to each other because they are vertical angles. Remember, vertical angles are across from each other, so that's by our vertical angle theorem. Vertical angles theorem. Okay. So that means, so since angle 2 is congruent to angle 6 and angle 2 is also congruent, so if angle 2 is congruent to angle 6 and angle 3 is congruent to angle 2, then angle 6, angle 3 is congruent to angle 6, okay? And that's by our transitive property. So by our transitive property of congruence, okay? So therefore the alternate interior angles are congruent, okay? So this is for alternate interior. Okay, alternate interior angles. Okay, so we can rewrite it in a sentence, okay? So given, so this is how to rewrite it into a paragraph. Given that R is congruent to angle S, we know the corresponding angles. We know that angle 2 is congruent to angle 6 by the corresponding angle theorem. We also know that angle 3 is congruent to angle 2 by the vertical angle theorem. Using the transitive property. Capital T. Using the transitive property, we see that angle 3 is congruent to angle 6. Therefore, the alternate interior angles are congruent. Okay, so this is a paragraph. Okay, this is the 2 column. And then this is the alternate interior angle one. Okay, so sorry, I didn't quite show all that. Okay, make sure you have those examples. Okay, so let's go a couple examples of making the lines parallel. So let's look at some of these. So let's say that we have one that's like this. Okay, and we have, so for line M and N, these are our lines. Okay, little arrows. Okay, so 2 is congruent to 3x. Okay, so these are, so what's the angle relationship for these, everybody? So remember, we look at where they are. They are same side, skip one, so they're corresponding. And you can just use the abbreviation if you want to. So corresponding, okay. How are they related? They are congruent. Okay, so they're congruent angles. They're the same measure. So it means we're going to set them equal to each other. So I'm going to do 120 equal to 3x. Use our division property of equality, divide each side by 3. And we're going to get x, and we can use the symmetric property. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. And it's equal to 40. Okay. We can also do, let's do another one. Okay, so we have that this, so we have 2x plus 15 and 135 degrees. So M and N. Okay, so these, what's the angle relationship for these two? Well, they are alternate exterior angles. They are also congruent. So that means we're going to set them equal to each other. So alternate exterior. So they're on the outside of the house. We're going to set them equal to each other. So 2x plus 15 is equal to 135 degrees. Subtract 15 from each side to get 2x is equal to 120. Divide each side by 2, and we get x is equal to 60. Of course, if we wanted to check that, everybody, we would go 2 times 60 plus 15 equals 135 degrees, okay? So we can always check them. So that's a way to check it. Okay, we're still working on this. Oh, sorry, this is 3.2. 3.2 continued. Still 17th. Okay, let's do another one. So let's say parallel lines going this way. And this is 150. And this is 3x minus 15. Okay. And we want to know what the angle relationship is for those two. Okay. So this is our transversal. So they're on the outside, same side outside. So they are consecutive. Exterior. Okay. They are supplementary. Okay. So they are supplementary. Everybody, I'm writing the words out, but you can do or you don't. Okay, since they're supplementary, we're going to set them equal, okay, to 180 degrees. So 150 plus 3x minus 15 is equal to 180. We're going to combine like terms. So 150 minus 15, get 135 plus 3x. I'm going to subtract 135 from each side. What we do on one side, got to do the other side. So we get 3x is equal to 45. Divide each side by 3. We get x is equal to 15. Nice and easy on that one. Okay, so let's go ahead and also do so let's look at this one. Okay, so this is 2x plus 78, and this is 5x. Okay, so these the angle relationship for these two, everybody, is their alternate interior angles. And alternate interior angles are congruent. So we're going to set these two equal to each other. Going to subtract 2x from each side. Got some music while we do this. Divide each side by 3. And we're going to get x is equal to 26. Okay, that's everybody if we have all the x's. Okay, I'm going to do one more. Sorry, I was like, oh yeah, I need to have these. Remember, look for those little arrows. So we have this as 136. And then this one is 2x. And we want to know what the angle relationship for those two, everybody. So they're inside. So they're going to be consecutive interior. Same side inside. So we're going to add them together. So 2x plus 136 is equal to 180. Okay, sorry, I forgot to put that they're supplementary. Okay, so we're going to subtract 136 from each side. We got 44 divided by 2. And we get 22. There we go, everybody. We got this.